Good day, friends and family. This is Avril, your host here. And now, today, we have another session. Now, we move over to how we moved into the understanding. So, we came into applying kingdom principles. Now, the first principle that to apply is we must have faith. Faith that can move mountains. That is the faith that we're supposed to have. So, the kingdom of heaven only works with faith as a currency. As we have in America, we have the US dollars, and in Britain, we've got the pound, and wherever we've got the NS dollars, and South Africa, we've got the rand. Those are their currencies. Our currency is faith. So we buy, purchase, barter everything with faith as a currency. And say a month or so more back, I read again this Hebrews 11 people, and it was as though it was a wow to me. The Lord is so great in His mercy towards us, in His grace towards us, that in there's various ways of faith. So we all know that it says, it starts with, now faith is the confidence in what we hope for, and assurance about what we do not see. So that is what faith is. Then the Lord immediately starts with the second verse that is saying, this is what the ancients were commended for. They believed. And the fact is that it says that the earth was created by the spoken word. Now there He already tells you just that the fact that you believe and know that God created the entire universe, that is in itself, it's already faith. So you can tell, Lord, but I believe that. Then that's your currency, then something must be returned to you. Now, verse 3 says, by faith the universe was formed by God, and that's what you must remember. Offering is another currency, because they say by faith Abel, he gave an offering that was pleasing to the Lord. So offering, if you offer, make that a faith offering, a currency for you, so that it can have a return on your harvest. Enoch pleased the Lord. That's another faith currency. I won't be able to explain the entire Hebrews 11, but go read it with new eyes. When I explain this to my students in this kingdom class, they say, wow. And sometimes we just know, okay, faith is the hope for things hoped for and what, but you don't know, but there's various. So today you just decide, I bless everybody. Tomorrow you say, okay, let me walk in obedience. If I hear something the Holy Spirit say, let me do that. So, and then number 6, this one just blew my mind. I gave you a testimony that a year or two back that I was praying, and I was praying for somebody with breast cancer, and I couldn't get the relief, and it was already almost 3 hours that I was in prayer. Now that I know the kingdom, it's going better. And after, I just said, no, I don't know, Holy Spirit, what is going on? I don't know what to pray for anymore. I don't get the relief that she will pull through, because she went to South Africa for the operation. And I heard Hebrews 11, and I will read, but when I came to 6, the second part, it just blew my mind. It seems it just opened up, and it reads like that. And without faith, it's impossible to please God. So if you want to please Him, just have faith, or any of those faith. You name it. Yeah, I'm offering, Lord, I offer now. Yeah, I please you. Yeah, I do this. You say, I said you speak to God about these things. Because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists, and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him. When I read that, must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him. Now that was the pondering of the Holy Spirit. I just said, Lord, but I believe, and my friend believes that you exist. And your word says that you reward us who earnestly seek you. I seek you no more than 3 hours for her healing and for her to be well. Instantly, I felt a relief within not even 3 seconds. 3 minutes, I got up, I came in, and the next day when I called, everything went smooth. The doctor couldn't believe that she got up so quick, and everything went smooth. 2 days later, she took the road and she came. And when she had to go for a checkup 3 months later, she was cancer-free. So that is something that in India, faith is a currency that pleases our kingdom. So start nurturing that faith. I told you now a few. Maybe you walked in one and not the other. It's fine for a season. You use the one, then you use the other, but there are various ways of faith. Noah, he had a holy fear for the Lord. And if you have a holy fear for God, that is a currency. And he also condemned the world. So sometimes if you're not with the patterns of this world and you condemn, that's what he did. That is your currency of faith. Because remember, you are not from this world. As Jesus said, you're from another country. You're from the kingdom. Sarah was faithful. She trusted the Lord. Isaac blessed Jacob. That when you bless something, that's why they sometimes say, bless your enemy. When you bless them with everything that you want, you will get it. You know, sometimes when I am not feeling well or I've got pain somewhere, I won't just pray for myself. I will also pray for others and bless them with good health, and then it comes back to me as well. So that is another currency that we have in the kingdom. Isaac blessed Jacob. Joseph, he spoke about the exodus of the Israelites from Egypt. You can also do that. Moses, he didn't wanted to acknowledge that he was a son of Pharaoh or Pharaoh's daughter, where you don't want anything to do with maybe your leaders or something that you're working for and the things that they do. Yeah, we obey them, but you also distance yourself from their operations. People, that is also a faith. That is also a currency of the kingdom of heaven. And I can continue even the Passover and the blood. If you still use the Passover, a few weeks back we had the Passover, and you put the blood to your doors and to your cars and to your heart and to your mind, you put it everywhere, and to your children that's going out. That is another faith currency. Then death or something that is not good have to pass. So use those things. There are clues in that entire Hebrews 11. And even the Red Sea, the parting of the Red Sea, if you speak about that, let us the Red Sea man part, or put your stuff. It's action. This is an action. That's why the heading in some Bibles, especially in the NIV, say faith in action. Then you say Red Sea part and go through with all your circumstances, all your possessions, and now you say, and now the Red Sea closes. So whatever is in there, they must be swallowed and killed, etc. That is how you can also activate your faith. And this one was, I forgot about this, but I can remember very young in our Christian walk, we had that by faith the walls of Jericho fell by them walking 7 times. When last did you walk? If you want a building, you want a house, you want something, walk around it 7 times and claim it. My husband, we walked around the table, and so we put whatever was needed on the table, and we totally forgot about that. But I'm coming back to that again, to walk around 7 times like the walls of Jericho. So those, in a nutshell, I think concludes our faith, because there's so much I can say about faith. But yeah, now when my students were finished, now I know I just need this or just need that type of faith. I said, yes, there are various. God is so gracious towards us that He gave us such abundant of examples that we can use any of those just to walk in faith. So go study this faith. Let this faith currency be your currency of your kingdom, and that you have a mental mind shift as from today forward. So with that in mind, goodbye. Until next time, please like and subscribe to my channel. Love you, Avril.